You could soon get your 5 to 11-year-old vaccinated against COVID-19, and you're probably hearing a lot today about the White House's plan to roll out those vaccines for young kids. So yes, it's true there's a plan, but absolutely nothing can happen unless the FDA and the CDC both approve it. And that could come as soon as next week. I'll explain that in a second, but first, let me go over the White House plan. First, the White House says it has the capability to make these vaccines widely available to young kids as early as the day after it's approved by the FDA and CDC. The White House says it has secured 28 million doses of the Pfizer vaccine intended specifically for this age group, and it will be distributed immediately upon approval. Second, the White House says its coordinators are already working with state, local, and tribal leaders to get their local pediatricians, pharmacists, and community health clinics on board to administer the vaccines. Already, the White House says the following trusted community leaders and doctors are on board, including 25,000 pediatricians' offices and primary care offices, more than 100 children's hospitals, which will also partner with local community organizations, tens of thousands of pharmacies, hundreds of schools and community-based programs, and hundreds of rural health clinics. The last part of this plan, the White House says the Department of Health and Human Services will roll out a widespread public education campaign to help parents understand these children's vaccines and help them make the choice that's best for their kids. Now, when will the FDA decide about vaccines for young kids between the ages of 5 and 11? Well, as I said, it could come as soon as next week when the FDA's independent advisory panel meets on October 26th. If you are the parent of a 5 to 11-year-old and have questions about this COVID-19 vaccine for your child, you should definitely speak to your kid's pediatrician. Vaccine booster mix and matching is now a thing. So says the FDA. The FDA has just expanded the use of booster doses for COVID-19 vaccines by amending the emergency use authorizations on all 3 vaccines. Now, this is not done yet, and the FDA approvals now require CDC approval as well. Pfizer's vaccine booster has already been granted full approval, as I described in this video. But today, the FDA approved boosters for Moderna and Johnson Johnson as well. For Moderna, that booster is FDA authorized to be given at least 6 months after full vaccination for those over the age of 65 and for those between the ages of 18 and 64 who are either at high risk of severe COVID-19 or at high risk of contracting COVID-19 because of their job. This same group is the one eligible for boosters under the Pfizer vaccine authorization. And for Johnson Johnson, the FDA today authorized a booster to be given at least 2 months after the single shot for anyone over the age of 18. And if you fall into any of those eligible categories and you want to get a booster, the FDA says you can take your pick. For example, if you got the J&J vaccine, you're over the age of 18 and you want to get a booster, you can either choose Pfizer or Moderna or another J&J 2 months after your first shot. Or if you were fully vaccinated initially with Pfizer or Moderna and you fall into one of those eligible categories for a booster, you can take your pick of a Pfizer, Moderna, or J&J vaccine booster 6 months after your last shot. The FDA did not specify or recommend a specific combination. Again, none of this is final until the CDC advisors meet tomorrow and the CDC director signs off. We should get more details about all the specifics of this mixing and matching at that point.